Hello, greetings everybody. This is Astro Queen
And I'm Angel Love.
and welcome to the AstroLove podcast. Have to be honest, we had a bit of a situation.
Yep, we practically came to the end of our podcast and realised that we didn't press record.
No. A whole
So we're
conversation.
starting it all over
Oh my
again.
days. And you know, what era are we in right now?
We're in the retrograde season and we should have double checked.
Exactly. And we didn't. We completely failed. So I went to press play instead of record. And here's me and Angela or Angel Love just kind of like chatting away like we do. And I don't know, something in me just needed to check the laptop.
Shouldn't trust the Pisces during the retrograde. That's my first mistake. Oh my days. And you've got Mercury in Pisces as well, isn't it? I should have looked at that.
Oh,
you know what it is?
Oh, stop
it's it's the Prosecco. That's why you shouldn't drink when it's Mercury retrograde and you're trying to do a show.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah.
I need another glass.
Yeah. Oh, but come on, man. I've got nothing to say apart from my bad. So I'm hoping that this episode would be even better than the other one.
Yeah, I'm still going to forget things though.
But I am begging for your forgiveness.
That's okay. And I was hosting, by the way. We properly got it all
she
wrong.
Should not have been hosting
the whole show. And now we got it back. Now it's recording. Astro Queen's going to host.
I'm hosting.
And that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay. So welcome to the Cosmic Juice. Cosmic Juice.
Yeah, Cosmic Juice.
It is juice.
Yeah, juice.
With our Prosecco. Welcome to the Cosmic News. Today we're going to talk about, what's been going on or what's happening right now in the cosmic world, and also just give some tips and tools as always, and keep it really transpersonal. So this is where we kind of link in psychology and spirituality in order to make sense of life. So I don't know, what have you got to start us off?
So
what's going
moon in Capricorn?
Well,
actually we should say happy birthday to all Capricorns.
Yeah, happy birthday Capricorns. Yeah, actually that's a good way to start. Happy birthday Capricorns. Yvette, you mentioned earlier, you reminded me it was Yvette's birthday.
Chanel.
Happy birthday Chanel. Happy birthday to
Noel that I know. So yeah.
To Noel, yeah.
And
my dad.
Your dad?
Yeah. Yes. Happy birthday to my dad.
The master builder.
Who's currently building wherever he is in the world. I'm not even gonna. But yeah, so it's Capricorn season, isn't it? Capricorn season hit on the 21st of December. Yeah. The same day that the solstice. Yes. The winter solstice took place. Yeah. And we mentioned in the last episode that the winter solstice signifies the longest night and the shortest day. And so that particular day was really good for reflection, setting your intention, going into darkness, but also tapping into nature, whereby now the light is going to last longer throughout the day, and it's just going to get longer as we move forward and progress into the next year until it's spring again.
Yeah, definitely. When I think of solstice, I also think of soul and solace. So it's like being
beautiful,
checking in with your soul, what's going on, the inner reflection. Yeah, definitely the meditation stuff. I didn't do that though.
No, me neither, because life happened.
It did.
Yeah, life happened. I did definitely have plans, but I don't think my plans were concrete enough. I didn't set my environment to make it conducive for that. So unfortunately not. But like I mentioned in the other episode, what I do though to mark the end of the year for me and to mark a new beginning is on the 31st. I write down my intentions. I draw my intentions. I use colors where I can. Sometimes it's like I can't be bothered to find all of those resources, but I do what I can to really focus my intention on what I want the whole of next year. Like I'm really thorough with that. And I find drawing really powerful. Yeah. And then come just before midnight, me and my people, my family, we get a window each. We've got doors all throughout the house, and we open the doors and the windows at midnight, and we scream Happy New Year all throughout the house. So we're not necessarily in the same space, but we're all screaming Happy New Year, and we've got the doors and windows open. And that's, symbolic of just allowing the cleansing to take place from the house, like all of the baggage, that the emotional baggage that may have been kept in the house. Incense is blown, by the way.
Yeah.
And then allow a new energy in, and that's my new year.
Sounds
So
great.
I missed the solstice, the winter solstice, but I've got a second chance
Yeah.
at life.
There's always another chance.
There's always another
There's
chance.
always another chance. If you miss it, there's always another chance. Don't worry.
Yeah. So the sun is now in Capricorn. So that's a much more serious tone in comparison to the sun in Sagittarius, where everything is much more wild and adventurous and funny, and maybe
all the fun.
All the fun. Yeah.
That's come home now.
That's
Sit down.
That is here. Mr. Saturn is here, and we've got to salute Saturn because he is the incredible stern master who, although we try and avoid his energy and his teachings and all of this stuff, he's really kind of like awkwardly amazing wisdom. We can't avoid him. No. He's always going to make an appearance, and he's always going to come into your life and bring in some form of structure and discipline.
We need Saturn.
Yeah, whether it means to slow you down or to make you work harder or for you to be realistic about what it is that you're trying to achieve. Like, is what you're doing realistic?
Yeah.
If not, I'm going to take it away.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, what would you say about the sun in Capricorn type of energy?
Yeah, so it's about like achieving your goals.
Hell yeah.
Being like ambitious, like moving the boundaries, like just really setting high standards and goals for yourself.
Yeah.
Like taking leadership.
Yeah.
This is your time. If you don't sit at the back fence, or this is your time to step forward and look in your natal chart and see where you've got Saturn, see where you have Capricorn in your chart, and see how you can utilize that energy. And I think also it's about building that firm foundation, something that will last. Like you said, your dad's out there building homes.
Yeah.
That's something that lasts. If you check England, we're Capricorn ruled, right? These houses that we've got some of them are set in stone.
That's it. They're not moving.
Yeah.
So the houses,
the new builds are not as strong.
Yeah.
But these old ones that have been around in brick, they're
brick and mortar. They're proper.
Yeah, they're proper.
They're not going nowhere, bro.
Yeah, if you go to certain areas, those houses have been there for time.
That's why, like, like for example, I've had people say from other countries, "Oh, your houses are so old." It's like, yeah, but they stand the test of time.
What? They ain't going nowhere.
No,
they're not going nowhere.
And I was watching. This reminds me. I was watching this billionaire. I forgot his name. And he basically documented himself renovating his £67 million house. He bought it in Mayfair, and he was really keen on getting it ready by a certain time so that he can move in and celebrate his birthday and whatever. Anyway, so everybody working for the house, like the builders, the designers or whatever, had obviously a time frame to sort out his house. Yeah. Anyways, all throughout the documentary, you just get to see the house. I was interested in the house. Yeah. And so he spent £67 million on this massive house in Mayfair, and the house is so traditional. Like it looked like a palace. Yeah. Like, and obviously he's a lot older than me. I would have gone for something much more modern. Yeah. But it was the architecture of the home. Unless he destroyed the whole, like, the foundation of the house to make it look modern. Yeah. There's nothing he could have done. Like, it literally had all of the concrete was designed in such a, I can't explain, I don't know what the terms are, but like really flowery, like very royal, and really massive high ceilings. It just had a very traditional feel, which I thought was really interesting. I don't know why I'm saying this, I can't remember. Foundations and building something. But that home had been there a long time, to the point where it was now worth 67 million. It was never worth that. Wow. Maybe 40 years ago.
Yeah, it's just like the Queen, isn't it? Buckingham Palace, that's set the standards of time. Like, that's been there. We've got castles in England. I think people like to come to the UK to see all that old kind of structure where sometimes a lot of countries they may not have. Like, I get a lot of Americans that like to come to England because they like to see all the castles, and obviously they don't have like that old kind of structure. I mean, there's countries that have older stuff like Sudan or in Egypt, the pyramids. Their stuff is, I don't even know how.
Yeah, it's
beyond
that's
another story. That's another story. But their stuff that's lasted. I don't know how.
I think they're trying to preserve the pyramids now in Egypt. Now I don't know if this is a rumor that they're really trying to decrease the amount of tourists that visit, really try and take control over it, because
that means I need to go quickly before they stop people going into certain
Can you imagine no pyramids?
Yeah.
But so Sun in Capricorn definitely is about longevity, long lasting type of energy, because Saturn rules time. And the longer you take to attempt to achieve a particular goal, the more trustworthy, reliable, dependable that achievement is, and the more long lasting, and the more you can reap the benefits of that. There's no kind of like trying to cut corners with this energy.
Definitely not.
And so Sun in Capricorn, where is it that you need to apply discipline and structure? Where is it that you need to be much more, serious about your life? And like, for example, on a personal level, I've got Saturn. Well, I've got the Sun now, Sun in Saturn, going through my 7th house, the house of relationships. And interestingly, that's where I'm going to need to apply some work around the changes that will take place next year.
Okay.
For me, my partner will be going away, and so I'm going to be left to kind of manage the home on my own. So it means more responsibility. Yes, more responsibility. So where is it in your life? Is the Sun going through your 2nd house, for example, the house of money? How do you need to make yourself more responsible about your spending? Maybe you've been quite frivolous, or you've not been responsible around your bills and your debts mounting up. Like you need to start
looking at how you can decrease, or what you can do to help that. And your health as well. Saturn's going to be in my 1st house.
Health.
It's definitely like health and structuring myself, and
the Sun in Capricorn.
Sun in Capricorn, that hits my 1st house. So definitely.
So that's gonna be so the fun's over, basically, is our point. The fun is over.
Time to get a little bit serious.
It's time to get back serious to work. Although today, we've got a lot to celebrate. Despite that, what else did I want to talk about? Okay, so we've just had a full moon in Sagittarius, so we're about to have a new moon in Cancer. When is that? The 11th.
Full moon in Cancer.
Full moon in Cancer. You're right. Full moon in Cancer.
It's the 27th, I believe. Oh, so 26th, 27th of December.
And how about before that? Oh, 20. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that was the Sagittarius. Okay. Cool. So, what do we have for that?
So, for that one, the full moon, I generally like to just take a bath when it comes to the full moon. Just like...
Do you make a point of doing that?
Sometimes. Light candles, have crystals around me, and just water. I'm very earthy, so I think that's my time where I really want to put water on all my earth. Like add some water to myself, because I've got so much earth in my chart, so I think that's the... And
it's so interesting because I'm the opposite. I've got so much water and no earth. No. Yeah, so this full moon is going to be very emotional, because full moons bring out emotions anyways. It's about completion, anything you've been holding back, it's about that release. It's that everything coming together, and it's going to manifest in some way, whatever the case is for each and every one of us. But it's going to be particularly emotional because it's in Cancer, and Cancer is watery, it's connected with water, connected to emotions.
The moon, so
exactly, it's the moon. The nurturing, the home, the family, self-care, intuition. So when it's at the full moon stage, it can heighten emotions. It can increase your intuition. It can help healing. If you got any emotional wounds, very good for that. And I think the bath could be a part of that healing process.
Yeah, definitely. Water is cleansing, so definitely you've got your crystals around you. Light a candle.
Yeah,
for sure.
All of that balancing self-care.
This is just to make note. This is the last full moon in Cancer till 2025.
Yeah, so there's no full moon
in 2024.
In 2024,
yeah,
which is so interesting because I don't think I've ever, as an astrologer, I've ever seen this. But
well,
it happens. Actually, different signs, I guess. Different signs. Yeah. Maybe it's happened with different signs, and I haven't really paid that much attention.
Yeah.
But I'm paying attention now.
Exactly.
Especially as a Cancer rising. But yeah, so definitely interesting. You know, have a look and see how it affects your home and family, because the moon, Cancer moon, definitely is connected to home and family, and your connection with the people that you love, how you seek emotional support, and you know how you're able to experience a positive environment around you that's healing, that's got of nurturing nature. And so on and so forth. So yeah, we mentioned the degrees. I think it's at 20 degrees.
Yes, you mentioned that before.
It's at 20 degrees of Cancer. So if you've got planets in Cancer, in Capricorn, in Libra, or in Aries, you're definitely going to feel it in some way, because that's going to be either, you know, conjuncting your planet, opposing your planet, or squaring. So we want to look for those aspects for it to be really activating a part of you. So definitely look at, if you've got planets in, I don't know, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 degrees of any planets in the signs I've just mentioned, then you're definitely going to feel this full moon in some way, shape or form. All right. I'm going to do my best, by the way, to actually do a ritual for this one.
Yes, definitely, because it's the last one till 2025, so we need to utilize that energy.
I want to utilize that. And then we have
the new moon.
The new moon. That's in Capricorn next year.
Yeah.
What date?
January the 11th, 12th.
January the 11th or 12th. Okay. So that's a new moon around, again, we mentioned about discipline, work, structure,
achieving something.
Yeah. So what is it that you want to invite into your life? Because new moons are all about inviting new intentions, planting new seeds, and then working towards achieving that goal. And then, you know, starting to see the benefits, even 2 weeks after you've set the intention, where you start to see the world navigate towards what it is that you want. But then it starts to really kind of come out, and you know, the seed of it, the seed of your labor, the fruit of your labor starts to really come into fruition.
Definitely. And with this new moon, it's definitely more of a marathon rather than a sprint. So just be mindful that it's not something with the Saturnian energy is not something that's fast.
Yeah.
It's slow.
It's patient.
Yeah, it's methodical. It's getting things right, making sure you do everything that you need to do to make sure that it, you know, whatever you do lasts. So definitely keep that in mind.
Yeah. Okay, we can talk about it again though in another episode.
I just want to mention, so with the new moon, I thought about SMART goals. So making sure that what you're trying to achieve, make sure that it's specific, it's measurable, so you can check the progress, it's attainable, so it's not too easy and not too hard. Excuse me. Make sure that it's realistic, so you've got the right resources that you need to achieve your goals, and make sure it's timely, and that fits in perfectly with the Saturn energy in Capricorn. So being smart, you usually use SMART goals in business. So so I think that fits Capricorn.
That fits beautifully. Yeah. That's fit. So that would be good for the new moon ritual if you're doing one. Okay, cool. I wonder though, I think I need a little bit more ambition in my life, but I do feel quite ambitious, actually. I'm not gonna lie. I do feel quite ambitious, but in a way that's much more spiritual, which is interesting because Saturn is actually going through my Pisces planets. Yeah. So right now he's on top of my sun and
opposing everything.
He's opposing yours, but he's conjunct all of my stuff. Oppositions ain't no joke, but conjunctions as well are hard. But yeah, like I've gone back to doing yoga, and it's been a good few years when I was really into it. But I was into it for a different reason. Back then, I would say maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, even, I injured my back. I injured my back, my lower back, to the point where I ended up in hospital, and I thought I had sciatica. It was so bad. And I'm really big on, like, self-healing. And so I wasn't going to allow this to debilitate me. And so I took up yoga. And what the hell is this? Okay, don't scare me. I took up yoga, and anyways, I would say within the second session in yoga, it completely cured my back. I had Reiki. It was amazing. Cured my back. And then sometimes, but the thing is with yoga, you got to have a particular mental discipline. It's not just you acting the physical pose, it's the mental discipline. And I remember doing my poses and stuff, going, oh man, this is long, this is so hard, like, when is it over? I swear we've done an hour. Why is she still going? It's been like an hour and 20 minutes, and she's still telling us to breathe and pose and stuff. In the back then, I don't think I was taking it. I wasn't there, but I wanted to be, but I wasn't there. So in the end, because I wasn't there mentally, I started to stir away from it, and I stopped. We had another technological issue.
Mercury retrograde.
Oh, I'm getting so sick of this. So yeah, if this piece of speech sounds a little bit disjointed, is because I don't know, I lost my trail of thought. But basically, I was talking about my yoga experience back then, and how now I've taken back my yoga practice, but I feel much more empowered, and I feel much more connected to what the practice, as opposed to just like, oh, when is this gonna get done? God, for the sake of doing it. But now I actually want to embody the practice and really appreciate it, and I'm applying discipline and structure all into it. And I think I want to take that more seriously throughout the Capricorn season, to just try and help, set the foundation of the practice, my yoga practice.
And I was told that the yoga is a lot about prayer.
Prayer, yeah.
So you're supposed to pray before and have your intention in your mind throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's something I didn't get. I don't know if it's been westernized. So some of the old traditions have been forgotten about. So I definitely would like to. I prefer Pilates because it's a bit quicker.
Oh, I've never tried Pilates. I don't know. I heard it was harder, no? Is it more intense than yoga?
I don't know. I think yoga's harder. I don't know. Yeah,
maybe it depends on the person.
But I definitely would like to probably go on YouTube and look at some yoga videos and follow that.
Yeah.
And more Pilates stuff. Definitely want to inner core in your body and stretching and the whole vibe and the energy. Yeah.
Well, it's definitely it's definitely gonna affect our bodies in some way, because it's your Capricorn first house, and it's my Cancer first house, and Capricorn opposes my first house, and that's to do with health. So it's very, very physical. So yeah, I think interesting you say that about the prayer aspect to it, because the other day I saw a reel on Instagram about the breath, breathing in and out actually spells out Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Is it Yahweh? Yahweh. And we don't have to move our tongue. We don't have to move our mouth for that sound to come out. And Yahweh actually means God. So if we're in Pilates and we're and yoga, intentionally breathing like that, we're consistently saying God. And one of the things that the reel said as well, the person who was talking through the reel, he said, Yahweh is the first sound or word we say at birth with our first breath, and it's the last. I was like, damn, that's so profound, that's so deep.
Because it's Yahweh. There's no vowels, it's just consonants. Yahweh. They put the vowels in it, so
amazing.
But
okay, so I'm hoping, listen, I'm getting so like,
I'm hoping this is actually makes sense.
I'm hoping
because,
it makes sense too.
This is the second time that we're recording it.
And did we cover everything? Oh, did we speak about Jupiter going direct on this one?
I'm not sure, but I think we should do. But I do want to mention crystals for the new moon and full moon.
Oh, go on.
So for the new moon, you can use snowflake obsidian, jasper, ocean jasper, smoky quartz, tiger's eye, malachite. And for the full moon, you can use smoky quartz, moonstone, rose quartz, aquamarine, and amethyst. Or choose something that you're drawn to. These are just a few crystals, so these are not just the only ones that you can use. So you can use your intuition and find something that you want to use. Yeah, Jupiter direct the 30th of December. Can't remember. I'm so confused now from the first time we recorded to the second time. So yeah, so that's on the 30th of December, I believe. Jupiter goes direct.
Yeah, I've got the 31st. Depends where you are. But yeah, so Jupiter, is all about belief system. It's a planet of abundance and growth and expansion. So I think when he goes retrograde, it's all about reevaluating your belief system, the way in which you kind of like have an understanding of life as a whole. What is that? Oh, is that right?
This is crazy. If you can hear that noise, it's the fire alarm, right?
Yeah, it's the fire alarm.
I think Kiki, your son, is in the kitchen.
Oh my days!
It's stopped now. It's stopped now.
They moved quick. They moved quick. Oh, this is ridiculous. So his momentum has been slowed down when he's retrograde, meaning that the abundance and the way in which we are and our belief system and our experience of luck is slowed down, it's inhibited in some way, so that we can review what those areas should look like. Really and truly, are we being authentic in our belief system, or are we kind of adapting to other people's belief systems? Right. Do we want to refocus on a particular religion, for example? Do we want to apply or take out a spiritual practice? Like for me, I've reevaluated myself. I really want to deep dive into a spiritual practice, but I want it to look like this, which is yoga. So I feel like I've definitely made a change. There's gonna be like a temporary slowing down of opportunities. I don't know if you felt that, but slowing down of opportunities. We might not feel as excited or optimistic about life, but again, this is for us. This is an opportune time for us to look at ourselves, reevaluate our philosophical understanding, our belief system, and all of that. In order to make it like in order to make it much more purposeful for ourselves. But yeah, so when he goes direct, it will allow for us to feel a sense of renewed belief in some beliefs, I guess. We might feel much more inspired, much more enthusiastic, and much more like believing that things can actually happen for ourselves. Whereas now we might feel a little bit like, is it? I'm not sure, and just not have that real sense of optimism. And also luck will be unlocked. And luck will be readily available for us to access. Okay, not that we haven't experienced luck, obviously, throughout the retrograde, but it might not seem so easily accessible. There might be barriers along the way, for example, or just some delays in that. So, yes, what else did I want to talk about? Did we talk about Mercury? So, Mercury, okay, without realizing, Mercury retrograde ended up being a theme of this podcast, and that wasn't what was planned. He caused a lot of damage in this episode to the point where I'm just a bit fed up of talking now. I'm just like, I want to bury my head in the sand.
I'm not even sure where we are. Didn't we say that before? But was the one that didn't get recorded. So yeah. So
note for self, during Mercury retrogrades,
double check, double, triple, quadruple check, everything,
and don't have alcohol.
Exactly. Yeah, that was wrong, isn't it?
That was wrong. Like, why would you do that during the retrograde?
Jupiter retrograde, and I just sound so echoey.
Oh, do you? All right.
What's going on here? But yeah,
we're talking about Mercury retrograde. He actually goes direct on the 3rd of January 2024. So meanwhile, yeah, exactly, that's worth celebrating. But meanwhile, there's going to be confusion during the retrograde. We're in it now. We're in the midst of the retrograde now. There's going to be delays, distraction. I don't know. Make sure you plan your time well. If you're flying, if you're traveling, make sure if you've got projects, you communicate well, you triple check everything, and just reevaluate areas in your life that matters to you, and your projects that you've left on the back burner that you're interested in bringing back to life. It's really good for that. But in terms of clearer thinking and clear communication, that's not going to happen unless you work extra hard to achieve that. So yeah, 3rd of January, he goes direct. So that's going to be nice, and communication and commuting and travel will go much more smoothly. And if you've experienced any kind of technological issues, that should kind of subside by then. And that, like you said earlier in the previous podcast, it'd be good to buy some electrical goods and stuff.
Well, I'm waiting for that January 1st to come. I need to get some new headphones, so I'm just waiting for that. I might actually wait for the shadow phase actually.
After the shadow phase.
Yeah.
So the shadow phase, it lasts 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's about 2 weeks, 14 days, and then you're good to go on the.
Yeah. I would wait as well. So around the 21st, 22nd is when we're completely free from the retrograde energy. And you know what? On that note, I feel we need to close. Unless you want to say something else.
I've got 2 things that I just want to mention.
Go for it.
So with the Mercury retrograde, it takes 21 days. And
this is a good point.
I got a reminder about it takes 21 days to change a habit. And I thought, this could coincide with the retrograde. I don't think it correlates, but you could use that time to think about something that you want to change in your life, or reevaluate, as it's meant to be anyway, and use that time to change it. But also, it takes 90 days to make it more permanent, and the next retrograde is on around the 1st of April, which is 90 days time. So whatever you begin to change now, it should continue all the way to the next retrograde, and then it's about 64 days to make it something that's permanent in your life. So so starting something now to change, reevaluate something that you think you need to change in your life, you don't like, but you want to make some changes. This is also, you can use the retrograde to start these type of things as well. So think about that. Any habits or behaviors that you think you just want to change, and it's something that you no longer need, that serves you and you don't want it in your life. This is a great time to just think about that in the retrograde period. It's something that you can use during that time. And the last thing I just wanted to mention was Christmas, really.
Oh, yeah.
Just like about Christmas, I think it's a lot of things that we think about is outside of ourselves. So we give presents, we indulge the Jupiter kind of stuff. We do a lot of things, but what do we give to ourselves? So I was listening to someone and I made a connection. So there's a tree of life. So Christmas tree, there's a tree. What does a tree represent? Tree could represent tree of life, which is the chakras. And when you break down the word Christmas, it's Christ, crown chakra, and mass, kind of like a large gathering. So under the tree, there's gifts. So what gifts could you give to yourself? Well, spiritual gifts, your intuition, your psychic powers, work on those. You meditate, strengthen them. If you you think you don't have them, use that time to work on your gifts. Look online how, use crystals, meditation, think about different ways that you can utilize your psychic powers that everyone has, but they don't utilize. And and within that's what I thought for Christmas, for ourselves. So we're given a lot of gifts. What about for ourselves? What can we take back for ourselves? And think about your gifts under the tree and open them up, and experiencing them. So intuition, any of your psychic powers that you feel you may have or would like to work on, this is what you can do for yourself.
I love that.
Yeah, and thinking about your intentions and thoughts, and that's that. I think, that was that for this show, I think. Okay. Unless you've got anything else to add.
No, my brain's fried.
Same here.
My brain is fried.
My brain is
and I'm disappointed, but it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Hopefully, we've made sense in this podcast.
Yeah, and we've mentioned everything that we should have. But this is Mercury retrograde. This is how it goes.
Yeah.
You should have known better not to have alcohol in that. But I thought
alcohol, yeah, but not during the retrograde.
Yeah, I don't normally. It's like the one time it's like the retrograde. What am I thinking? I don't normally have alcohol.
Yeah.
So the retrograde got me there.
Yeah.
Made me think of something different.
It's Neptune. Neptune is trining Venus. We don't have boundaries when it comes to pleasure. So, yeah. Anyways, listen, on that note, thank you so much for tuning in.
Yeah, don't forget to like our podcast on YouTube, subscribe, and our Instagram, Astro_Love podcast.
Yeah, please comment as well. That would be great on our Instagram and our YouTube as well. And we are going to go into more channels. We're going to be accessible elsewhere, not just YouTube, because we understand that it's quite awkward actually. And we've been told that YouTube, not everybody's got the premium access to YouTube. So when they lock off YouTube, but they want to keep hearing us, it's like they can't do both. They can't use their phones, for example, and use YouTube at the same time and listen to podcasts.
Yeah,
so we're going to change that up. So yeah, thank you for bearing with us. But new things coming in
you'll see our faces and all that.
We're going to go live and stuff.
We're making so many changes. So
Yeah. So on that note, people, thank you, AstroLoves. We are the AstroLove podcast, and I'm Astro Queen.
And I'm Angel Love.
Peace, guys.